too busy to help you move. The colleague who accidentally leaves you off the email chain. The partner who starts picking fights about nothing right after you get a big win. This is the tax of visibility. You bought the applause with the currency of your safety. Was it worth it? Veblen called it conspicuous consumption. He thought it was about status. But if you look deeper into the dark psychology of the tribe, it is about survival. In ancient tribes, if you hoarded more meat than you could eat and flaunted it while others starved, you didn't become the chief. You became the dinner. We have not evolved. We just wear suits. The instinct to level the playing field, to tear down the tall poppy, is encoded in our DNA. So ask yourself, why are you painting a target on your back? Do you crave the dopamine of a like so much that you are willing to risk the ruin of your real life? Silence is camouflage. In a world where everyone is screaming, "Look at me," the man who stays in the shadows is invisible. And because he is invisible, he is safe. He can maneuver, he can flank, he can strike, and no one sees him coming until it is too late. Phase 2. The intelligence leak, the blueprint of destruction. Now we go deeper. This is not just about envy. Envy is emotional. This is tactical. Information is ammunition. Every time you open your mouth to brag, you are leaking intelligence. You are handing your enemies the blueprints to your psychological structure. Let's analyze this coldly. When you show off something, you are not just showing an object or an achievement. You are revealing a value. You are telling the world, this is what matters to me. This is where I derive my worth. If you brag about your money, you are telling me that your security is tied to your bank balance. If I want to hurt you, I don't attack your family. I attack your finances. I attack your reputation. I threaten a lawsuit. I know exactly where you will bleed the most. If you brag about your intellect, if you are always the one correcting people, always the smartest guy in the room, you are telling me that your ego is tied to being right. If I want to destroy you, I don't need to outsmart you. I just need to humiliate you publicly. I need to frame you as incompetent. You will collapse because I struck the pillar that holds up your self-esteem. Do you see? You are giving me the codes to your destruction. Machiavelli advised the prince to be a great pretender and dissembler, to never let his true nature be known. Why? Because if I know what you love, I can use it against you. If I know what you fear, I can weaponize it. When you are constantly broadcasting your life, you are stripping yourself of armor. You are naked in a room full of people wearing armor. There is a reason the most powerful people in the world, the truly powerful, not the influencers renting Lamborghinis, are often the quietest. They are ghosts. You don't know where they live. You don't know who they are dating. You don't know what their next move is. They operate in a vacuum of information. And because you know nothing about them, you cannot manipulate them. You cannot predict them. You cannot trap them. But you are easy. You posted your location. You posted your plans. You posted your complaints. You posted your wins. I can build a psychological profile of you in 10 minutes just by scrolling through your feed. I know you seek validation from authority figures. I know you are insecure about your background. I know you have a temper when your intelligence is questioned. I own you, and I haven't even said a word to you yet. This is the danger of the open book philosophy. Society tells you to be authentic, to share your truth, to be vulnerable. Society wants you weak. Authenticity is not the same as overexposure. You can be real without being reckless. You can be honest without being defenseless. The outlier understands the value of the fog. He keeps his cards against his chest, not because he is hiding a crime, but because he is hiding his power. When you conceal your intentions, you create a state of suspense. People become uneasy. They have to guess. And when people have to guess, they often guess that you are more powerful than you actually are. Silence amplifies competence. If you say nothing, people assume you are thinking something profound. If you say everything, you remove all doubt that you are a fool. Stop leaking. Stop handing out the map to your own fortress. Burn the map, memorize the terrain, and let them wander in the dark while you watch from the high ground. Phase 3. The paradox of signaling, the imposter's scream. Let's talk about the signal. In biology, there is a principle called handicap principle. A peacock grows a massive, colorful tail. It is heavy. It makes him slow. It makes him easy to catch by predators. Why does he do it? To signal to the female, I am so strong, I can survive even with this massive handicap. It is a biological flex. But humans have distorted this. In the human hierarchy, the signal has inverted. We have reached a point in culture where the louder the signal, the weaker the reality. The dog that bites does not bark. The bark is a warning. The bark is fear. The bark is saying, please don't come closer. I'm afraid I might have to fight you. The bite is silent. The bite just happens. When you are constantly showing off how hard you are, how grinding you are, how alpha you are barking. You are signaling a deep, rotting insecurity. You are trying to convince yourself, not us. Truly wealthy people, old money, generational power, do not wear brand names covered in logos. They wear unbranded cashmere. They drive nondescript cars. They do not talk about money. Why? Because money is like oxygen to them. It is just there. You don't walk around talking about how much air you are breathing unless you are suffocating. If you are talking about it, you are suffocating. You are signaling scarcity. When you brag about how many women you can get, you are signaling that female attention is rare and valuable to you. You are putting it on a pedestal. You are revealing that you are not the prize. They are. When you brag about how busy you are signaling that you have no control over your time. You are a slave to your schedule. You are not a master. You are a worker bee, buzzing loudly to show the queen you are useful. The outlier sees through this instantly. When I see a man trying too hard to impress me, I do not see power. I see a child asking for a pat on the head. I see a vacuum of self-worth that he is trying to fill with my attention. And that makes him repulsive. Robert Greene speaks of the law of seduction. Seduction requires mystery. It requires a pull. When you push your accolades in someone's face, you are repelling them. You are trying to force a transaction. I show you cool thing. You give me respect. Respect cannot be bought. It can only be commanded. And it is commanded by what you do, not what you say you did. There is a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are capable of violence, but choosing peace. From knowing you could buy the room, but choosing to sit in the corner. From knowing you have the answer, but letting others speak first. That is the energy of the king. The jester is the one jumping up and down, waving his bells, desperate for the king to look at him. Which one are you? Are you the king, secure in your silence? Or are you the jester, dancing for crumbs of validation? Every time you post that story, every time you humble brag, every time you fish for a compliment, you are putting on the bells. You are dancing, and the world is laughing, not with you, at you. Because they see the desperation. They smell it. It smells like sweat and cheap cologne. It smells like fear. You must kill the part of you that needs to be seen. It is a parasite. It eats your potential and excretes mediocrity. You must become comfortable with being underestimated. In fact, you should invite it. Let them think you are average. Let them think you are broke. Let them think you are slow. General Sun Tzu said, all warfare is based on deception. Hence, when able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive. If they think you are unable, they will lower their guard. They will get sloppy. They will reveal their own weaknesses because they do not see you as a threat. And that is when you win, not with a shout, but with a whisper. Phase 4, the economics of mystery, scarcity value. Let's move to economics, basic supply and demand. The more there is of something, the less it is worth. Oxygen is essential for life, but it is free because it is everywhere. Diamonds are useless, but they are expensive because they are rare. Your presence, your thoughts, your achievements, these are commodities. When you flood the market with your thoughts, when you post every waking moment, when you tell everyone everything, You are inflating the currency of you. You are making yourself common. You are becoming copper. You are always available, always visible, always open. And common things are treated with indifference. Common things are stepped on. But the Machiavellian understands the power of scarcity. If you want to increase your value, you must reduce your supply. You must withdraw. Think about the artist who releases an album every year versus the one who disappears for 5 years. When the one who disappeared finally speaks, the world stops. Why? Because we are starved for it. We value it because we had to wait for it. We value it because we don't know when it will happen again. When you show off, you are giving away your value for free. You are flooding the market. You are begging people to consume you. Stop. Create a famine. Starve them of your presence. Starve them of your information. When you finally do reveal something, a project you've been working on for years, a skill you've mastered in the dark, it hits with the force of a revelation. It has weight. People respect weight. Imagine you are in a meeting. One man talks for 20 minutes, listing all his ideas, interrupting, trying to prove he is smart. Another man sits back, listens, watches, and then, at the very end, speaks 3 sentences that solve the problem. Who holds the power? The second man. Because he held his cards. He let the inflation of words destroy the first man's value. He waited until the market was desperate for clarity, and then he provided it. He used the scarcity of his voice to command the room. You must apply this to your life. Stop telling people what you are going to do. The energy you spend talking about the plan is energy stolen from the execution of the plan. There is a psychological phenomenon called social reality. When you tell someone your goal and they say, "Good for you," your brain releases dopamine. It feels the satisfaction of the achievement before you have actually achieved it. You tricked your brain. You got the reward without the work. And because you already got the reward, your drive to do the actual work dies. You talked your dream to death. Silence preserves the tension. Silence keeps the pressure cooker sealed. That pressure is what drives the engine. If you open the valve to whistle and show off steam, the engine stops. Keep the valve shut. Let the pressure build. Let it become dangerous. Let it drive you forward with a force that terrifies you. Do not trade your potential for a cheap hit of dopamine from a stranger. Do not trade a diamond for a penny. Be rare. Be scarce. Be the gold coin in a pile of copper.
Booking.com has stays for absolutely anyone. Imagine you're a merman. You find a beach resort for your mer family with a plunge pool, a wave pool, and yoga. What? Mermen do yoga too. If a merman can find their perfect stay, anyone can. Booking.com, booking.net.
Phase 5, the master and the slave, the validation trap. We have to confront the darkest truth of all, the hierarchy. When you show off, you think you are asserting dominance. You think you are the master, but look closer at the dynamic. Who is performing? You. Who is judging? Them. The performer is the subordinate. The judge is the superior. When you brag, you are submitting an application. You are saying, "Please, look at this. Please, tell me it is good. Please, tell me I am good." You are handing them the gavel. You are placing yourself on trial. This is the ultimate reversal of the laws of power. Law 1 says, never outshine the master. But in this scenario, by trying to outshine everyone, you make everyone your master. You make the collective opinion of the mob your god. You become a slave to their reaction. If they applaud, you feel high. If they ignore you, you crash. If they criticize you, you spiral. Your emotional state is no longer under your control. It is outsourced to the whims of people you don't even respect. Is that power? Is that the alpha mindset? No, that is servitude. The true master does not need the validation of the slave. The lion does not turn to the sheep and ask, "Did I hunt well today?" The lion eats. The lion sleeps. The opinion of the sheep is irrelevant to the existence of the lion. To be truly mentally untouchable, you must break this chain. You must fire the audience. You must reach a point of internal solidity where your own assessment of your actions is the only one that registers. I did this well. I did this poorly. That is it. The moment you look sideways to check if anyone saw you do it, you have lost. You have reintroduced the weakness. You have invited the parasite back in. This is why Machiavelli warned against the court of public opinion. He knew it was fickle. He knew that the crowd who cheers for you today will drag your corpse through the streets tomorrow. Do not build your house on the sand of their praise. Build it on the rock of your own discipline. When you stop showing off, you reclaim your sovereignty. You take back the strings. You stop dancing. And when you stop dancing, people stop looking at you as entertainment. They start looking at you as an entity, a force. They may not like you. They may not understand you, but they will respect you because they realize you do not need them. And in a world of needy, desperate, loud people, the man who needs nothing is the man who owns everything. Phase 6. The law of the grey man. Strategic mediocrity. We are not done. We have diagnosed the sickness. Now we must engineer the cure. In the world of intelligence, CIA, MI6, Mossad, there is a concept known as the grey man. The grey man is the most dangerous operative in the field. Not because he is the strongest, not because he has the biggest gun, but because you do not remember him. He enters the room, extracts the information, and leaves. If you asked the people in that room to describe him, they would struggle. Average height, brown hair, nothing special. He is a ghost in the machine. You must apply the law of the grey man to your life. This is the art of strategic mediocrity. When you show off, you are painting yourself in neon. You are making yourself a person of interest. You are inviting audit. You are inviting scrutiny. You are inviting challenge. The grey man paints himself in beige. He drives a reliable, boring car. He wears clothes that do not scream, "Look at me." He speaks about mundane topics, weather, sports, traffic. But underneath the beige, he is building an empire. His bank account is compounding in silence. His mind is sharpening in silence. His network is expanding in silence. Why does he do this? Because he knows that obscurity is security. When you appear average, people lower their defenses around you. They speak freely. They reveal their secrets. They do not see you as a threat, so they do not try to block you. Imagine you are in a negotiation. If you walk in wearing a $50,000 watch and a custom suit, the other side immediately thinks, "He has money. I need to charge him more. I need to be careful." But if you walk in looking like a tired mid-level manager, they relax. They think they have the upper hand. They might even feel sorry for you. And that is when you strike. You use their underestimation as a weapon. You extract the best deal because they never saw the shark swimming in the water. They only saw the driftwood. Stop trying to look like a boss. The real boss looks like a janitor until he signs the check. There is a profound freedom in being underestimated. It is a cloak of invisibility. It allows you to move through social circles, business deals, and hierarchies without triggering the immune system of the group. The immune system attacks foreign bodies. It attacks things that stand out, don't stand out, fit in, be the background noise, be the static. And while they are distracted by the loud, colorful peacocks dancing in the center of the room, you walk out the back door with the prize. Phase 7. The reverse. Braggart. Weaponized humility. Machiavelli taught us that it is better to be feared than loved. But he also taught us that it is useful to be considered weak until it is time to be strong. This brings us to the reverse braggart. Most people brag to inflate their status. The reverse braggart deflates his status to hide his power. This is the ultimate manipulation. When someone asks you how business is going, and you say, "It's booming, we just hit 1 million," you have triggered envy. You have triggered a loan request. You have triggered a competitor. But what if you said, "It's a grind. The market is tough right now. We're just trying to keep the lights on"? What happens? Sympathy. They feel bad for you. They might even offer to help. Safety. They no longer view you as a threat. They cross you off their rival list. Information. Because they think you are struggling, they might share their own struggles, giving you valuable intel on their weaknesses. You have gained 3 tactical advantages by simply hiding your win. This is not lying. This is information control. You are under no obligation to provide a full and accurate financial report to your neighbor, your cousin, or your Instagram followers. Sun Tzu said, "Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. If you are strong and you appear strong, you are just a target. If you are strong and you appear weak, you are a trap. Be the trap. Let them lecture you. Let them give you advice. Let them think they are smarter than you. Nod, smile, take notes, feed their ego, starve your own. And then, when the time comes to execute, when the promotion is on the line, when the deal is closing, when the confrontation happens, you drop the hammer. The shock of your competence will paralyze them. They will not be able to process it. But I thought he was struggling. I thought he didn't know what he was doing. The cognitive dissonance will break their OODA loop. Observe, orient, decide, act. They will freeze. And while they are frozen, trying to reconcile the loser they thought you were with the winner you just revealed yourself to be, you have already won. Use humility as a mask, not because you are humble, but because you are strategic. Phase 8. The physics of hate, the evil eye. We must touch on something darker now, something that borders on the spiritual, though it is deeply rooted in psychology. Every culture in history has a name for it. The Greeks called it Bascania, the Romans, Invidia. In the East, Nazar, the evil eye. The belief that a gaze of envy can physically harm you. You might be a man of science. You might think this is superstition, but analyze it through the lens of energy and psychology. When thousands of people direct negative energy, jealousy, and "I hope he fails" thoughts toward you, does it have zero effect? Even if you don't believe in metaphysics, believe in the subconscious. When you know you are being watched by hateful eyes, you change. You become paranoid. You become stiff. You start second-guessing yourself. You feel the weight of the expectation. This is the physics of hate. Envy is a heavy isotope. It radiates toxicity. When you show off, you are inviting this radiation into your life. You are opening the door and saying, "Please, come in. Please, hate me." Why would you do that? Why would you want to swim in a pool filled with sharks? There is a reason why lottery winners often go bankrupt, get divorced, or suffer tragic accidents within years of winning. It is not just bad money management, it is the crushing weight of the envy of everyone they know. The friends who sue them, the family who guilts them, the strangers who target them. They showed the trophy, and the tribe tore them apart. To protect your peace, you must protect your privacy. You must build a firewall against the evil eye. Keep your wins in the circle of trust, and that circle should be small, tiny. If you buy a house, tell your parents, maybe your partner. Do not post the address. Do not post the key. If you get a raise, put it in the bank. Do not buy a bottle at the club. Every time you share a win with someone who does not genuinely love you, you are converting that win into a loss. You are converting an asset into a liability. You are turning a blessing into a curse. Stop cursing yourself. There is a peace that comes from secret happiness. The Japanese have a concept for this, himetaru, the beauty of the hidden. A flower that blooms in the forest where no one sees it is still beautiful. In fact, it is more beautiful because it exists for itself, not for an audience. Your life should be that flower. Let the happiness exist for you. Let the success be yours. The moment you share it with the envy-ridden masses, you dilute it, you taint it, you make it dirty. Keep it clean, keep it hidden, keep it safe. Phase 9, the void of power, the God mode. So, what is the end game? If you stop showing off, if you stop seeking validation, if you become the gray man, if you embrace the silence, what do you get? You get the